Welcome to Daily Math Concepts. Today, what we want to look at is solving absolute value equations and inequalities. I want you to stay tuned because I will be right back after this. Welcome back to Daily Math Concepts. We're looking at solving absolute value equations and inequalities right now. So let's go. First question. All right. Before we even go into the question, what we want to do, we want to take a little time to understand what do we mean by absolute value. So let us say we see the absolute value, which is like a double bar. All right. So this is the absolute value symbol. In another topic, it might be considered other things, right? So if you see this, the algebra we deal with absolute value. So the absolute value of x, let us say this is 7. What values could this be? If we want to know what value could be, we want to understand what does the absolute value actually refers to. An absolute value is actually referring to the distance from 0. So let us just take a quick look at our number line. If this is my 0 and the absolute value from 0, right? The value, the distance from 0 is 7. Then it could actually go in two directions. We're talking about units, and unit does not carry positive or negative. Unit is just how many. Talking about how many units we are from that place 0. So we could go 7 units to the right and 7 units to the left. So the absolute value, if the absolute value is 7, we're talking about we could be referring to here or here from 0. So in other words, then, it simply means that x could have been 7, or it could have been -7. Both of these response would have been an absolute value of 7, meaning this distance from 0 would be 7 units. So when we're dealing with absolute values, a lot of times we're going to be looking at two situations, one from the positive unit and one from the negative unit. So the left and the right of 0. We want to keep in mind that our absolute value is like measuring from 0. All right. Now, let us take a look at this question. Let us say we have x plus the 2, the absolute value of x plus 1, should say, is equal to maybe 5. So we want to know what this could be. The absolute value of x plus 1 is equal to 5. Well, this has two cases. Case 1, x plus 5, x plus 1 is equal to 5. Also, x plus 1 is equal to -5. So we are saying that, listen, this could give us 2 response, right? So what we want to do is to solve this ordinarily. Let us take away 1 from both sides here. So x could equal to 4. All right, and that's an answer. From this angle, -1 from both sides, then x is now equal to -6. So you could see if we're solving this absolute value of x plus 1 is equal to 5, we're saying that the two responses are x could be 4 or x could be -6. Let's take a closer look. Now, let's look on the context where if x is say 4, right? So we're going to substitute 4 here. So let's go. 4 plus 1, then the absolute value of 5 is 5. This is correct. So you can see that the 4 is correct. Let's try for -6. So we're talking about the absolute value of x plus 1 must equal to 5. Now, if x is equal to -6, the absolute value of -6 plus 1 is equal to 5. -6 plus 1 is going to give us the absolute value of -5, which is equal to 5. And this is correct. The absolute value of any number is always a positive number. So in other words, the absolute value of -5 is still 5. So you could see that -6 and +4 would be the solutions to this problem. All right, let's look at another question. Now, what if we realize that we have this? Say we have 2x minus 5 plus 3 is equal to, say, 10. So let me read this. The absolute value of 2x minus 5, right? And then what we have, a plus 3, is equal to 7. So you want to take a very close look to this. You notice that this 2 is on the outside of the absolute value. So what we want to do is to have the absolute value by itself first. So what we're going to do is that we're going to subtract 3 from both sides. So we're simplifying this. So the absolute value of 2x minus 5 is now equal to 7. At this time, I'm now going to look at my cases. There are two cases. One, we could say 2x minus 5 is equal to 7. Also, 2x minus 5 is equal to negative 7. So those are our two cases, because remember, the distance from 0 is a 7. So we could get to the right, to the left. So what we're going to do is to solve. In order to solve this, we want to add 5 to both sides. So we have 2x is now equal to 12. Then we divide by 2, then x is equal to 6. And this is one of my solutions. Let me add to the other side. Let's add 5. So 2x is equal to negative 2. And then if we divide by 2, then x is equal to negative 1. So my two responses are for this question is that x is equal to 6, as well as x is equal to negative 1. So what's the difference in this case? What we had to do was we want to make sure that the absolute value is by itself. So if that means that we have to get rid of that positive 3, balance the equation, then we do that first before we split our cases. All right, let's take another look. What if we have 3, open bracket, x plus 2? Well, what if we have 3, absolute value of x plus 2 minus 1 is equal to 20. Now, again, what we want to do is to take our time with these. In order to handle our two cases, we want to make sure that the absolute value is by itself. So we want to get rid of this negative 1 here. We get rid of the negative 1 by adding 1 to both sides. So let's rewrite this. 3x plus 2. And then we have, this is 21. I still don't, I don't have the absolute value by itself. So I'm still going to have to divide by 3, divide by 3. Now I have the absolute value of x plus 2 is equal to 7. And at this time, I can say, okay, here are my two cases, right? Now my two cases are as follows. X plus 2 is equal to 7, as well as x plus 2 is equal to negative 7. And I want to solve these. So in solving these, I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides. So one of my solutions are as follows. X is equal to 5. And then here, I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides. My other solution is x is equal to negative 9. So here it is, we're looking at how do we push forward? How do we organize ourselves as we go forward? Let's take a look at this other problem. What if we have an inequality? For example, what if we have the absolute value of 2x plus 3 is less than 4? Now, the approach is the same, but we have to be careful. Whenever we create our second situation, something unique will happen. Let's take a look. Now, remember, this is not equal to, this is less than. So what we have here is situation 1, 2x plus 3, right, is less than 4. That's one case. Now, for the other case, we're going to have 2x plus 3, right? Now, we're going to be using negative 4. But because I'm going to use a negative 4, I'm going to have to flip the sign. So because I'm using negative 4, it's not going to be less than no more. It's going to be greater than, and then this becomes negative 4. So because I'm going to change the sign here, then the sign from positive to negative, then I have to make sure that I flip the sign to make sure that I'm on the right path. Now let's take a closer look. Solution 1, we want to subtract 3 from both sides. So what we're looking at is 2x is less than 1. Then I divide both sides by 2. Then x is less than a half. That's one of my solutions. My second solution is as follows. Let me minus 3 from both sides. So then what we have here is 2x is greater than negative 7. Then we're going to divide by 2 so that we have the x by itself. So x is greater than negative 7 half. That's my second solution. The idea is that with these problems, we do work them just as we work the equal. The only thing is, when we create the second situation, we're going to have to make sure that we actually flip our side. All right? See you next time. Learn about concepts. Bye-bye.